We've got a new project here. Going to be putting up some vanity lights. These are for one of the bathrooms upstairs. I've got 2 sets of 4s there and another set of 4s for the bathrooms for the girls. So that's the boxes. I've got to unbox those, make sure they're all the same. And then they're going to replace these. This is going to be replaced with a 3 because it's the right distance. Here's another bathroom. I'm going to put a set of lights in here, a set of 4s. They won't span quite as far as those lights, but then I've got a span here that's about 66 inches across. I'll put 2 4s in here, and hopefully that will cover it. Each of those 4s is about 33 inches wide. So let's do some unboxing and make sure we got all the right lights, if nothing's broken, and we'll start the install. I've opened all of the boxes. Check the glass in each one. Glass looks good there. There's the 4. Checked all the glass in there. Each of those pieces looks good. There's the second 4. Checked all the glass in here. Put them all back so they're safe. They all look good. And the glass in the third 4 looks good. So, first step is to take down the lights in the small bathroom and put up the 3, which should be big enough for what we want to put in this bathroom. Alright. So yeah, should be plenty. Got to turn these lights off, let them cool down, take the apparatus apart, and begin the first install. Alright, got the power off. Only had 2 tries. Sometimes it's tough in this house the way the circuit breaker's been labeled. Got the cover off, broke a bulb already, fumble fingers, dropped a bulb, busted it down here. We'll get that cleaned up with a shop vac. Got 2 screws here, 1, 2, took the wire nuts off of here. They're ready to go. We'll take this down, do a fit, and see how the 3 bulber will fit on here. So I've got an interesting problem here. I noticed that the previous light was offset by 1.5 inches. I measured that. If you'll notice the holes, looks like the original hole was here, and then they moved it to here. There was another hole here, and they moved it to there. That's because it looks like the center, the center of the electrical plate is off by 1.5 inches. It's not centered above this mirror here. So, or the mirror or the sink. So, I've got to figure out a way to offset this beast by 1.5 inches so that I can mount my light to it. I've also checked, and the light will cover this piece if I offset it and center it appropriately above the mirror. It'll cover this little gap, this plate in there. Now I'll just need to work with this. I've got the big guns out. I've got my lights in here while I've got the power shut down in the bathroom, so we'll figure something out here shortly. Alright, well, I got a little workaround. I offset by about 1.5 inches here so that I'd be centered with this mirror here. So, did some doing, but I think I got it alright. I'm going to have to patch little holes here and here from the previous fixture, but we'll be dropping the light in here shortly. Far enough for now. Okay, the moment of truth. I flipped the switch downstairs on the circuit breaker, so let's give it a shot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. It works. Excellent. So, 1 light down. That was a lot of work. Hopefully, the junction boxes are in the right spot in the other bathrooms. If not, I'm going to have a lot of trouble. Alright, quick update. This is the light with the globes on there. Obviously, these aren't the light bulbs I'll ultimately use, but it's what I had available from the previous light, but looks okay. Everything seems to fit in there. I'm centered and looking pretty level. Okay, this is day 2 installing the lights, and after trying to understand this cryptic notes left by the previous owner here, I've been able to figure out that for the 2 remaining bathrooms, I need to flip switches 5 and 6 after up and down the stairs several times, 5 and 6, and then yesterday I had to flip number 10. So I've got the power shut off for those 2 bathrooms, so we'll be replacing the lights in there. Hopefully the outlets or the junction boxes are centered appropriately, or I'm going to have to do something special for each of those. Hopefully it's not a problem. Alright, so got part of the lights down. As I noted earlier, I verified that the light and power is out in these rooms. Got part of that one off. We're going to do some measuring, make sure that junction box is centered. When I take this off, I'll know for sure. I'll be taking this off, bringing in some floodlights, and then this is the other bathroom. This one, fortunately, looks like it's centered right here. Again, when I take this off, we'll know for sure. It looks like I'm going to have to do some repairs when I take these screws that went right into the wall by the remodeler several years ago. So enough for now. Get some lights in here, step stool, and get it done. Screws up. Let's do a little removal here. Hard to do with one hand, but that looks fairly symmetrical. We'll see what that one is. We'll do a quick measure, make sure we're okay. Alright, light fixtures are down. Looks like we're fairly symmetrical here. Down here I've got the lights. We'll probably donate that to a local community storehouse, and hopefully somebody can get some use out of those if they want them at a reasonable price, I'm sure. So next step, do some quick measuring, make sure that we're actually symmetrical. I'm going to fill in some holes here and maybe do some touch-up paint. I might not have any paint, but let's get on it. We're getting close. Alright, the first one's in. I'm going to do a quick smoke test, so I'll flip the power on real quick. Make sure these wires are separated. Put a bulb in there. Make sure it lights up okay. And then we'll work on this one. Went in pretty quick. Not bad at all compared to yesterday. Okay, I flipped the circuit breaker. Let's do a quick test. Excellent. We have wired correctly, so we're good to go. Let's work on this one next. Went in pretty quick. I've got a light bulb in there. We're gonna flip the circuit breaker. See if everything looks good. All right, circuit breakers are flipped. Big test. And we have lights. No smoke. Good sign. Work on the other one in that other room there. That should be the last of the 4s, the last of the lights. All right, get the power off. One last look before we take this down. This is a much wider light. Unfortunately, the lights I have are only 4 bulbs, but it looks like it's centered above the sink here, which is good. Got my lights here helping me out. Got my touch-up paint. Looks like I might have to spackle some holes here, here, and there. And then looks like there were some scratches on the end that I'll need to touch up. I'll need to do the same in the other bathroom. Signing up for now. Let's take this monster down. Alright, so the old light's down. A lot of damage. Well, not huge damage, but a lot of touch-up work needs to be done here. And there's no junction box up here to mount the light. So I'm going to have to go to the hardware store. The other problem is, if you look at this and you go straight down, the sink is over here instead of underneath the light. So the hole is not centered above the sink, so I'll have to make a little adjustment there. See if I can find some good parts at the hardware store to help me out with that. I haven't gone to the hardware store yet. I was poking around in there, just seeing how thick the insulation was, and I found the junction box. Looks like it was broken by the remodelers that put the previous light in here, and it was kind of pushed down behind the wall here. Now I pulled it up, And I can see that the anchor nails were still in there, but it was broken away from that. So I'm going to go to the hardware store, see if there's some options I can buy there. See if one of the electricians has some ideas on how to fix this. I do have a special tool where I could anchor that to the side, but again, I'm off by, I've measured 3 inches to the center of the sink, which is down below here. I'm going to center the light to the sink. So I've got to move the center over to that little white mark there. Right there that I marked. And somehow find the center and mount it. Might be a similar solution I did in the other bathroom, but that's where we are right now. I don't know. All right, so I got to work around. Should be really easy. I'm just going to take this plate. I'm going to put it up here. It's going to be offset, and I'm just going to screw it right into the stud. Stud runs right through here. Put that in here. I've fastened this so that it doesn't move around, and I should have enough of a plate on the light to cover the hole here. So for now, I've spackled all the holes that were left by the old fixture. Got some touch-up paint underneath that newspaper. I'm going to do some touch-up and mount the last light in here and put some electricity in there so that my daughter has a sink tomorrow morning. All right, we're getting down to the end here. Touch-up paint in here looks really good. Touch-up paint in the green room, not so good, and then touch-up paint in the smaller bathroom with the silver paint or whatever color that was looks pretty good too. So I'm gonna add the faceplate here. Hopefully that'll be quick, easy. Wire it up, hang the light, and we should be done. All right, well, I got that plate right on there. We're gonna do a quick fit with the light, make sure everything looks good. This is right on center with the sink below, so hopefully the plate on the light will cover that. We will see. I've done a quick test before. We'll see how it fits now. All right, flipping the lights on. Let's go see if those things work. The moment of truth. Bang! They work great. Next set of lights. Bang! Looking good. Looking real good. Last set of lights. Here we go. Bang! They're working too. Project done. Now I've got to do a little bit of cleanup and go get some dinner. November 14th, 2018.